Well, good afternoon and welcome to this MCTV Sports production of high school swimming. We're coming to you from the campus of Mills High School at the pool for this Peninsula Athletic League Bay Division dual meet between the Mills Vikings and the Terra Tigers. Hello, everyone. I'm Kenny Mills alongside my broadcast partner, Vicky Wu. And Vicky, thanks for joining us. We should be in for quite a meet today.
Yes, I'm very excited. I'm a senior here at Mills High School, and the team has been doing really well all season. And hopefully this is just going to be another testament to that.
One of the top swimmers for the Vikings. First on the boys' side, you have Drew Kwan, also Jake Lynn, Jacob Ing, and Kalen Tantuico. We should be hearing a lot from them in the pool today.
Yes, they're one of our fastest relay teams, and I'm pretty sure they've already qualified for CCS in their relay, so that's very exciting.
Those should be good races. And on the girls' side, you have Clarice Wong, Megan Chang, and Christy Wong, also very close to qualifying in both the 50, the 200 IM, and the 100 breast.
Yes, they've been very working really hard this all season to get those few seconds, just shaving those few seconds off for CCS.
And we'll see if they can do so in the pool as we get set for the varsity girls and varsity boys in the pool at Mills High School. Swim time. So it looks like we're getting set for the first varsity race of the afternoon. It's the varsity girls 200 medley relay, and Mills will be in the odd numbered lanes. And in lane number 3 will be the team of Alice Lau, Christy Wong, Luisa Simpao, and Alicia Vasquez. And in lane number 5, the team of Megan Chang, Carmen Lee, Carolyn Yu, and Clarice Wong. And for Terra Nova, they'll be in lanes 2 and 4. Starting in lane 2, Holly Gubser, Satara Nittenson, Serena Bioni, and Natalia Gill. In lane 4, Emma Olson, Emily Stenson, Brittany Byrne, and Frankie Ariano. This ought to be an interesting race. Starting off for Mills in lane 3, Alice Lau. In lane 5, Megan Chang, and we're off and swimming. First leg is the backstroke.
It'll be interesting to see how this ends, because this is the race where the varsity girls, the one with Megan Chang, Carmen, Carolyn, and Clarice, are very close to qualifying for CCS. So this will be an interesting race.
And it looks like Mills is in the lead out in lane number 6. Please don't tell me they changed the odds and evens. Looks like they did. So they've changed it now to Mills is on the even lanes and Terra Nova's on the odd. All right. So we'll have to make some adjustments. Nonetheless, that on the breaststroke, that is Carmen Lee giving Mills the slight lead on leg 2. And that's in lane number 6. Now it's the butterfly, Carolyn Yu, trying to hold on that lead in lane 6 for Mills.
Carmen and Carolyn are some of our new freshmen this year on the team, and they've been doing very well, training with Varsity, working really hard to get us to CCS.
That is Brittany Byrne for Terra Nova in lane 5, but Mills has maintained and actually even opened up their lead. And here on the final freestyle kick is Clarice Wong in lane number 6 for Mills. But coming up on her is Frankie Ariano of Terra Nova. Closing the gap, Clarice trying to finish this one off and win the first one for Mills. She's got about a full body length. And Clarice and Mills hold on to win. Terra Nova second. Mills gets third, and the other Terra Nova team gets fourth. Nice race there by Megan Chang, Carmen Lee, Carolyn Yu, and Clarice Wong bringing it home. lot on these relays, Vicky, depends on how you get off to that good start.
Definitely. A good dive is, regardless of how tall you are, a good dive is what's really going to set you, kind of give you that upper lead, regardless of how fast you are. But a lot of people do catch up if they have a bad dive. But some people, they do very well with their dive. That first leg is also very, very important in kind of securing that lead. But we've seen some really, really big comebacks from people who come back in the last leg of the race. So it's very interesting because in swimming you never know what's going to happen.
Coming up next is the Varsity Boys 200 medley relay, and this is a special race for Mills because they have a group of 4 that have already qualified for the CCS playoffs, and that is going to be in lane number 6, the team of Kaylin Tantuico, Drew Kwan, Jake Lynn, and Jacob Ing. Tell us about this group.
So this is a very, very special group. We call them our A-team relay because they're just so fast, so consistent all the time. I'm pretty sure the first meet we had, the first time they swam this relay, they qualified with time to spare. And Drew Kwan is actually one of our, I believe he's the fastest breaststroker in our district. The only guy to beat him graduated last year. So I'm pretty sure he is the fastest breaststroker in our district, and Mills is proud to have him. Kaylin and Jake are both very, very fast juniors. They've been doing very well this season. They both have qualified in CCS in some other events that they swim individually. And Jacob is an upcoming sophomore. He's very, very fast. And I'm not sure if he's qualified for CCS in some of his events, but I believe he has. If anything, he has this one relay.
So Mills is also going to be in lane number 2, it looks like. A team of Jeremy Truong, Andrew Dunn, Brian Ing, and Jonathan Coe. So it looks like 2 Terra Nova teams in the middle, or is that just one? And that's a third Mills team over in lane 4, I believe it is. Or is that Kaylin in lane 4?
That is Kaylin in lane 6 right there.
In lane 6, that's what I thought. Okay.
Jeremy in lane 4 and Kevin in lane 2.
Okay, so they got the numbers all switched around here. Okay.
On the kickboard, they have another number written because there's a kickboard standing up there. So they switched that. I don't know.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Well, we're going to have to just kind of go with the flow here.
Flow of the water.
Flow of the water, right. So according to the platforms they dive off is what the numbers I was going for.
Yeah.
Terra Nova is going to be in lane number 5. The head coach, by the way, of the Mills Vikings, Carly DiMarcana, excuse me, in her first year, teaches at Peninsula High School. Her assistant coaches are Melissa Wagner, Melanie Cotter, and Gabe Rosenthal. Coach Cotter and Coach Wagner also teach here at Mills, and Coach Rosenthal also teaches at Peninsula High School. Our official today is Joanna Dunn. The starter is Carlos DiMarcana. That is Carly's dad, keeping it in the family.
Yep. And the official is actually also Andrew Dunn's mom.
Oh, okay.
And she's been officiating our meets for quite some time now.
They're having some technical difficulties with the timing system, so they're working on that now. More on Coach DiMarcana. She coached JV girls water polo here this year at Mills. And water polo is kind of her main sport, although she did swim at Notre Dame Belmont. She swam the freestyle.
Ooh. Yes, she's been doing really well as a first-year coach, considering she's never done swimming before. But I think her strong abilities to coach just through water polo, and as a teacher, she has some of those abilities kind of in her to help her through teaching coaching a new sport like swimming.
And we asked her before the meet started what she thought about coaching swimming, a new sport, and what it's like coaching the kids here. And she said right off the bat, quote, "I love it. The kids are amazing." She said they are very helpful. They've been very patient with me in my first year. So that's a nice compliment. Sounds like everything's working out just great.
Yeah.
The girls varsity for Mills is 0-4. They're in 7th place in the Bay. They're struggling a little bit in terms of wins and losses. The boys varsity in the Bay is 2-2. They're in 4th place. For Terra Nova, the girls varsity is 1-2 in the Bay. They're in 5th place. And the boys varsity for Terra Nova is 0-2-1. They do have one tie. Head coach for Terra Nova is Brad Pence in his 4th year, and he was an assistant coach for 3 previous years. So it looks like they're getting set to start that varsity boys 200 medley relay, that special group on the far outside or closest to the camera in lane 6 is that group with Kaylin Tantuico starting it off with the backstroke. Boy, he gets off the blocks quick, or off the wall. Doesn't come up out of the water until over halfway across the pool, and he's already got himself close to a half-length lead.
Kaylin's backstroke is very, very good. He's very fast and consistent about it, and he always does well in his individuals and the relays. He never disappoints.
And he's increased his lead to over a full length, close to a length and a half, and there goes Drew Kwan into the pool. And he enjoys now close to a 2-length lead as he does his breaststroke.
Drew,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Drew will also be swimming for Whitman College in Washington State. So that's exciting for him.
Congratulations to Drew. In 2nd place, that team from Terra Nova was Philip Bondar who started. That's Willie Amundsen. And their 3rd leg for the butterfly is Jose Bermudez, who just jumped in the pool. They're in 2nd place behind that team from Mills, which now has Jake Lynn performing his butterfly. Boy, he's got good form.
Yeah, very, very good form. He's also a star in the 500 free, which we'll see later. It's a very hard event, but he does it well.
And into the pool, Jacob Ing going to close it out with the freestyle. About a 7-length lead, almost a half a pool. Although the closer, Michael Cordova for Terra Nova, is doing a fine job of closing the gap. It's down to about 3 lengths now, 2 lengths, but Jacob is going to bring it home. And so far, Mills varsity boys and girls, each 1 for 1, 2 victories in the first 2 races.
Yes, this is very exciting.
Finishing up over there in lane 4, that was Jonathan Coe. Also on his team, Brian Ing, Andrew Dunn, and Jeremy Truong. And now finishing up over in lane 2, I believe that's Adam.
Yes, Adam Wong.
Adam Wong. And also on his team, Carlos Dantes, Kevin Lee, and Kevin Lai. So they get 4th. Terra Nova gets 2nd. Mills gets 1st and 3rd, and then of course 4th place in that race. Up next is the varsity girls 200 freestyle, and there's going to be 3 Terra Nova girls and 2 Mills girls in lanes 2 and 4. Medina, Audic, and Alicia Vasquez. And for Terra Nova, in lanes 3, 5, and 7, I believe. Lane 3 is Sarah Frackerly, Natalia Gill, and Malia Ford. So opening up the lead in lane 5 from Terra Nova is Natalia Gill. But on the turn, nice pass made there by Alicia Vasquez.
Alicia swam for our JV team last year, and her specialty was the IM. But this year she seems to be doing very well in the 200 free and all her relays that she's swimming in. She's been working hard and training with everyone else.
So Alicia is in lane 6. And to her left from Terra Nova is Natalia Gill. 2 more times, I believe.
Yes.
So it was that second turn where Alicia took the lead and she's opened it up to over a length now. And actually Malia Ford in lane 7 from Terra Nova is moving up. Very close to getting in second place. I believe this is it, heading down the home stretch here for the finish. And the other Mills girl had a little problem there in lane 5. Or check that, lane 4, that was Medina. Maybe there's one more down and back.
Yep. One more 50 and to seal the deal. It looks like Alicia's got a strong lead right now. It's 2 Terra Novas in second and third. Oh, she's really going for it in this last 25. A lot of swimmers save that until the last 50, and she's really going for it now.
Alicia Vasquez heading home. And she gets the victory for Mills.
Yes.
Close race for second between the 2 Terra Nova girls, and I believe it was in lane number 5. Natalia Gill. Third place, Malia Ford. Fourth place goes to Sarah Frackerly. And just now finishing her last lap will be Medina Audic for the Vikings. The varsity girls are up next in the pool for the 200-meter individual medley relay. And Carmen Lee is there in lane
4, and in lane 6 we have Megan Chang.
And for Terra Nova, in lane 3, Emily Stenson, lane 5, Taylor Nash, and lane 7, Sutara Nittenson. First off the turn, looks like in lane 6 for Mills, Megan Chang has a slight lead.
Very slight.
Over Taylor Nash, and Taylor right in the middle of the 2 Mills swimmers for Terra Nova. It just may have touched first. Boy, it's close.
Yes.
Taylor Nash in the middle for Terra Nova. She's sandwiched between Megan Chang to her outside and to her inside Carmen Lee in lane 4. Just finishing the backstroke off the turn. And Megan Chang looks like she just gained a little bit of a ground on the backstroke. One of her stronger strokes, I guess. Mm-hmm. Getting close to the lane line there, though, as she makes the turn.
Yeah, Megan's one of our sophomores on our varsity team. She's been doing very well since she's been on varsity since last year as a freshman. And we have Carmen as a freshman right now. So they're both doing very, very well, and thank God Mills has them for a few more years.
Really? Yeah. And despite being very close to the lane line, she opened it up on that turn, the transition from the backstroke to the breaststroke. And now she's got over a length and a half lead. Yeah. Well done by the sophomore Megan Chang. And moving into second place, the freshman Carmen Lee in lane 4. They both have passed the Terra Nova swimmer, Taylor Nash, in the middle in lane 5.
Breaststroke is actually both of their strongest suits. It's a very, very strong stroke for all of our varsity girls, actually. It's one of their strongest.
Now with the freestyle, Megan Chang, the sophomore, takes a turn. She's heading home. The Vikings going to make it 5 for 5 5 races, 5 victories. And it's Megan Chang tapping first. Heading home, it's going to be close. Carmen Lee trying to hold on. She's getting tired as Taylor Nash comes, and she does. Carmen Lee gets second. Nash gets third for Terra Nova. Very close to qualifying is Megan Chang in the 200 IM. We were talking with Coach DeMarcana before the meet, and she said she's very close. Can't quite see the timer over there. There's a glare coming from the sun, so we're not going to be sure if she did qualify, but nonetheless, she looked pretty strong in that race.
Yeah. She's very good at the IM. Her breaststroke is really what, in that race, it's really what kind of gave her that upper lead in that, and that's very important for her.
So the Varsity Boys 200 IM is next. You've got Brian Ing. Is that him in lane 6?
Lane 4.
He's in 4.
And we've got
Drew Kwan?
Drew Kwan in lane 6.
In 6. Just one Terra Nova swimmer right in the middle, lane 5, Willie Amundsen. So the 200 IM. And hitting the wall first on the outside is Drew Kwan. Kwan with about a 3/4, now a full length lead on his swimming partner Brian Ing. Both have taken the lead on Amundsen as they head to leg number 2, the backstroke. Drew Kwan, a senior, with that nice, big, comfortable lead now, has already qualified in the 100 breaststroke and the 100 butterfly. And here he is performing well in the 200 IM.
Yep.
He's quite a talent.
Mills will miss him, but we do have a lot of new swimmers in the freshman, sophomore, and junior, so we will have a strong team for, I believe, years to come.
Little trouble on the turn there for Brian Ing, and Amundsen from Terra Nova was able to get the lead here on the breaststroke.
In the third leg, we go into the breaststroke, and this is actually Drew's best stroke, so if anything, it gave him more of a very, very comfortable lead.
He has over a half of a pool length lead on Amundsen from Terra Nova. Now the freestyle, 3/4 of a pool length lead. Yeah. This pool is 25 meters.
Now the last 25, Drew's gonna bring it home, looks like. He's gonna bring Mills the victory once again.
The Vikings take the first 6 varsity races, 3 from the boys, 3 from the girls. Drew Kwan wins the 200 IM. Amundsen for Terra Nova gets second, and Brian Ing for Mills will take third. The 50-meter freestyle event is next. Varsity girls up, and you have Clarice Wong in lane number 6 for the Vikings, and also for Mills, Medina Audic in lane number 4. These are quick races, just down and back. And out to the quick lead is Clarice Wong in lane number 6. To her inside for Terra Nova, Frankie Ariano. Off the turn, it's tight. Wong for Mills on the outside. Ariano on the inside for Terra Nova. This one's going to be tight. Wong going to try to touch it at the wire, and I believe she got it.
Yes. Clarice has been swimming this all season.
Clarice Wong doing it for Mills over Frankie Ariano for Terra Nova. And that makes 7 straight victories for the Vikings. Boy, that was exciting.
Yeah.
She really got a good dive in, and I think that got her that little bit of the lead. And Ariana was coming in tight.
Yeah.
But I believe Clarice was just able to touch first. Next up is the varsity boys. Kevin Lai is in lane number 4. And then Carlos Dantas is in lane 6. And Richie Liang is in lane 2. Okay. And again, we apologize. They have done a lot of lane switching from when they gave us that original lineup. So this is the boys 50 free. It goes fast. Michael Cordova in lane number 4 for Terra Nova is one of their top swimmers, and he has already qualified for the CCS. So this may be the toughest race thus far for the Mills Vikings boys. And he is out to the early lead is Michael Cordova. And Cordova may run away with this one. Also, Devin Johnson from Terra Nova is going to get second. Close for third, coming on the outside. It looks like it might have been either Dantas or did Kevin Lai get it in lane 4? What'd you think there, Vicky?
I thought it was very, very close. I think it might have gone to Kevin, though. Could have been microseconds.
So, the top swimmer for Terra Nova comes through with the Tigers' first event victory of the afternoon. Mills had won 7 of the first 8 until that race. So 3 for 3 are the Vikings today. Up next will be the varsity boys 200 free. And there will be 6 competitors, 3 for each squad. See if they switch the numbers. It should be Jonathan Coe for Mills in lane 2.
In lane 4, he's right there.
So he's going to be in lane 4.
And we've
How
got
about Jake Lynn?
Jake Lynn is in lane 6, and we have Adam Wong in lane 2.
Okay. And we're off and rolling. Jumping out to the quick lead in lane number 6 is Jake Lynn. On his inside, Philip Bondar for Terra Nova. So Jake Lynn with just a slight lead as they finish up their first 50.
Jake is a very, very good distance swimmer, which means that he can go for very long distances, and he's able to just keep that energy in there for that amount of time and just keep it going until the last 50 or 100. He just sprints that, and he's very good at that.
And Jake is a junior. He has already qualified for the CCS in the 200 free and the 500 free. Quite a talent.
Yeah.
And
Mills has got him for another year, so.
Right. And he's receiving some pretty good competition to his inside, Philip Bondar of Terra Nova. But now Jake has opened up about a length lead as they head for their third 50. Third place for Terra Nova in lane 3, Aaron Sturtevant. Fourth place for Mills in lane 4, that's Jonathan Coe. Boy, Jake's he's close to lapping Matt Philippi of Terra Nova.
And we're going to finish up with Jake with the win for Mills.
Jake gets the victory in the boys 200-meter freestyle. Second place, Philip Bondar. Third place, Aaron Sturdivant of Terra Nova. And in fourth place, Jonathan Coe for Mills. We'd like to give the Chamber of Commerce big thanks for sponsoring MCTV's coverage of this Mills boys swim meet. Chamber of Commerce is a nonprofit association that promotes and supports the growth of businesses in Millbrae. The Chamber also provides information about great places to dine, shop, and stay when you're in Millbrae. If you'd like to join, contact millbrae.com or call 697-7324 for more information. Thanks again to the Millbrae Chamber of Commerce. So we've resumed action from our short break. Event number 21 next, Varsity Girls 100 Butterfly. And you have Carolyn Yu in lane number 4, and then Christy Wong in lane number 6, both for the Vikings. Edie Cap in 3 for Terra Nova, Brittany Byrne in lane 5, and Taylor Nash in lane 7. So 3 Terra Nova swimmers in the middle and on both the outsides. And you have Carolyn Yu, lane number 4, going against Christy Wong, also from Mills, in lane 6. They hit the turn, and they'll have a couple more turns to go. It's 100 meters. That's 4 lengths of the pool. Very close, but it looks like on the inside that's Carolyn Yu with the slight lead.
Carolyn is one of our new freshmen this season, and she's been doing very, very well. Christy is a senior. She plays a lot of sports, actually. Water polo, soccer, swimming as well. So looks like they're doing very well right now. It looks like Carolyn has got about half length, 3/4 of a length of a lead, but Terra Nova's coming up pretty close. So in this final
Carolyn
stretch,
Yu in lane 4, Brittany Byrne in lane 5. It's going to be close down the wire, and I believe Carolyn pulled it off.
Yep.
The freshman out-touched her, out-timed, very well-timed on her stroke to hit the wall first. Win number 8 for the Mills varsity boys and girls combined. The girls have won all 5 varsity events so far today. Next up, the varsity boys 100-meter butterfly. Brian Ing is in lane number 4, and it's Kaylin Tantuico in lane 6, and Ryan Cole, or Cool, I believe it is, in lane 2. One of my former students, and I had asked him numerous times how to pronounce it, and he said, it's cool, it's cool. And I go, okay, that's cool. Kaylin Tantuico in lane number 6 is one of the Vikings to watch. Also Brian Ing in lane 4. And for Terra Nova, just one swimmer, Jose Bermudez, has not qualified in this particular event, but is fairly close, says his coach, Brad Pence. Off the turn on the outside, that's Kaylin Tantuico with just a slight lead over Bermudez. This one might be tight, Vicky.
In the final 50 now. Kaylin's already qualified for CCS in this, but it looks like Jose is coming up. Kaylin has a little bit more of a lead now. We'll see what happens at the turn.
One more turn and they're heading home. Tantuico for Mills on the outside. Bermudez for Terranova on the inside. The crowd getting into it here on MCTV Sports. Tantuico gonna touch first and win for the Vikings in the 100-meter butterfly. Finishing third was Brian Ing, and it's Ryan Kuhl finishing fourth. You hear the gun in the background. There's a lot going on today at Mills, Vicky.
Yeah,
what else is happening?
We've got a track meet happening. We have a badminton match against Westmore, and we have a boys varsity JV tennis match happening as well. So it's a very exciting day for Mills athletics today.
And the Mills swim team is doing absolutely excellent. They've won 9 of the 10 events thus far. Overall, it's been a great year of MCTV Sports here at Mills High School, but we're not done yet. We still have coverage of softball and baseball coming up. Check out our schedule at mctv.tv for playback dates. Event number 25 is next, the 100 freestyle varsity girls. You have Luisa Simpao in lane 4 and Clarice Wong in lane number 6. Both of those are the Mills swimmers. Once again, I'm Kenny Melch alongside Vicky Wu, a senior here at Mills High School. And thanks once again, Vicky, for helping us out. Without you, we'd be a little bit lost, and we appreciate your insights.
Thank you for my 15 minutes of fame.
For Terranova, they have 3 swimmers. One on the inside, Natalia Gill. In lane 5 in the very middle, Serena Bioni and Holly Goopser in lane 7 on the outside. So you've got the Tigers and Vikings here from Mills in Millbrae. And it's pretty close up front. All 3 of the outside swimmers. You've got Bioni in lane 5 in the middle for Terranova, and Goopser in lane 7 actually takes the lead as they break from the wall, but then coming off the wall was Clarice Wong, very good for Mills.
This is very, very close. Terranova seems to be catching up to Clarice Wong. That's the turn.
And Wong already has that one very close victory. We double checked and made sure, and she did touch earlier on, and she came off that wall very well. She's trying to bring it home for a victory again, Clarice Wong, and she's going to do it.
And she brings
another
home
victory for Wong and the Mills girls Vikings. Goopser gets second and Bioni gets third. Fourth was Gill and fifth was Simpao for Mills. Another great race by Clarice. She's coming through today.
She's doing very well today. She's been training hard all year with the Burlingame Aquatic Club, and she will be attending UC Davis next year.
Good for her. So the senior, doing it here on MCTV Sports. Ten out of 11 varsity events won, combined boys and girls. And we got an updated score from Coach Rosenthal. Varsity boys, who are up next, lead Terranova 40-34, and despite the varsity girls for Mills winning all these events, they actually trailed going into that race 40-38.
Wow.
So we'll get back to the race here. You have Jacob Ing racing for Mills along with Andrew Dunn and Richie Liang. Didn't quite get all the lane assignments. Were you able to catch any of the lane assignments for Mills?
I believe that is Andrew in lane 6, Jacob in lane 4, and Richie in lane 2.
So Andrew Dunn is currently in second place, trailing Michael Cordova, we know is one of their top swimmers, in lane 5. And he takes first. It's very close for second. and I believe that Dunn ended up getting third. I think the other Terra Nova swimmer in lane 3, Devin Johnson, was able to touch for second place. So Mills gets third, and Terra Nova gets first and second. So that lead for the Vikings is going to be cut into, and it may be a tie after that last event. It was already 40-34 going into that last swim. Mills had the slight lead over Terra Nova. Only the second win out of the 12 races so far for Terra Nova, combined boys and girls. Up next, the varsity girls 500-meter freestyle. And for the Vikings, you'll have in lane number 6, Carolyn Yu. And in lane number 4 for Mills, Alicia Vasquez. For Terra Nova, in lane 3, Emily Stenson. Lane 5, Emma Olsen. And lane 7, Sutara Nittensen. So 2 Viking swimmers and 3 Terra Nova swimmers. And 2 of these Terra Nova swimmers in lane 5 and 7 are 2 of their top girls that are going for school records. And Sutara Nittensen, a junior in lane 7, is trying in this 500-meter freestyle event. So we'll try to follow that closely. School record is 5:59 flat for Terra Nova. We got that from their coach, Brad Pence. And right now, in the lead for the Vikings is Carolyn Yu. Long way to go, though.
Yeah, we've just finished the first 75, halfway through the first 100, and Carolyn seems to be having about a body length of lead, which is good. Good for Mills.
So I believe it's 20 altogether for 500. Yeah. So you'll be able to see when the swimmers get down to the far length of the pool, they'll keep track of the laps with those cards.
Lap counters.
The lap counters that the swimmers can see. Thank you, Vicki. So 5 out of 20. And Carolyn Yu is really off to a great start. Split time, 1 minute and 40 seconds. Lap counters reading 7. So they'll be at the 200-meter mark when they turn once again. 200 out of 500.
With every turn, Carolyn is just increasing her lead, and she's doing very well. She's maintaining her energy enough to disperse it evenly throughout the entire 500 meters. She's about almost halfway right now, and she seems to be doing quite well. Doesn't look too tired, but we'll see how that might change in the latter part of the race.
So when they touch here, they'll be halfway home. 250 out of the 500 meters, and Carolyn Yu has a half a pool length lead. Many thanks go to the Magnolia of Millbrae for sponsoring this event. The Magnolia of Millbrae is a welcoming place for seniors who want luxurious living conditions with a swimming pool, fine dining, and a gated covered parking garage. For more information, please contact themagnolia.com or call 697-7700 or toll free at 1-888-860-6915. You're watching MCTV Sports. I'm Kenny Milch alongside Vicky Wu, and we are heading towards the end of the Varsity Girls 500-meter freestyle race. And once again, Carolyn Yu for the Vikings, now with about a 3/4 pool length lead with just 7 turns to go. Also for Mills in lane 4, Alicia Vasquez. And I believe she is 2 turns behind.
Yep. She's about a 50 behind Carolyn right now.
Carolyn's just gliding along.
For Varsity Girls, she's one of our fastest distance swimmers in our 500 free. And as you can see now in the race, she's doing quite well. Doesn't look too tired. Seems to be keeping quite a consistent pace. And with a few more laps to go, she has a very, very comfortable lead at this point. I believe she may have already lapped the 2nd place, or 3rd place at least.
She's very smooth on her turns, I noticed. Boy, good news for Mills swim fans and the swim coach as Carolyn reaches the bell lap. She's only a freshman?
Only a freshman. So Mills is very excited to have her this year. And for the next 4 years, which will be great.
Be interesting to see if she breaks that 5:59 mark, which would be a Terra school record. Of course, she's from Mills and she's heading home. She's got 19 seconds. Looks like it's going to be pretty close. She's going to get the win nonetheless. Now it's just a matter if she's going to break the Terra school record. And she does. 5:54.98. Boy, she beat that by over 5 seconds.
She has a lot of strength and power packed into that tiny little body of hers. Don't underestimate Carolyn Yu. She's great.
We certainly won't. It looks like coming in 2nd in the middle is Emma Olson from Terra. She's going to be short on one of her goals, which was to try to break the Terra school record for the 500. There's Sutara Nittenson finishing in 3rd for Terra. And finishing 4th was Emily Stenson, also for the Tigers. And it looks like for Mills, Alicia Vasquez is going to be finishing in 5th for the Vikings.
And another win for the Varsity Girls team today in Millbrae, California.
They have not lost one race yet. In fact, between the two, there's only been 2 Terra swimmers that have won races, and that's out of 13 varsity races, and it was the same guy. It was Michael Cordova. And it's the varsity boys up next. Jonathan Coe in lane number 4 for Mills, and Jake Lynn in lane number 6 for the Vikings. And Lynn gets off the board very quickly and jumps out to the lead. Jake's one of our top swimmers as well. Has already qualified in this 500-meter freestyle event, also in the 200 free. And that's qualifying for CCS play.
He's also on our Varsity Boys 200 medley relay, which is also qualified for CCS.
And the 400 free relay, I believe, as well. Part of that all-star A-team, you called it earlier, with Drew Kwan, Jake Lynn, Jacob Ing, and Kaylin Tantuico. This is Jake Lynn. He's a junior. and he's got just about a 3/4 body length lead over his inside competitor. And that's Philip Bondar in lane 5 for Terra Nova. Right now in third place is Jonathan Coe for Mills in lane 4, and to his inside in lane 3 is Nathan Ariano. Now about a full body length lead for Jake Lynn in lane 6 for Mills. Going to be taking turn number 7 according to the lap counter out of 20.
Throughout the season, Jake has been swimming the 500 free at every meet, and I believe he's been consistently getting first place in most of the meets, if not all of them. So, and based off the lead he has right now, I'd say he's doing well, and it could happen again today.
He's getting set to lap his teammate Jonathan Coe as he's now exactly halfway through the race. 250 meters down. And just now making the turn is his closest competitor, Philip Bondar of Terra Nova. His lead for Jake Lynn closing to a half a pool length. Both these team total scores are going to be very close. These teams are pretty evenly matched, while Mills has dominated most of the events, winning first place in so far 11 out of 13, and if Lynn holds on, that'll be 12 out of 14. But Terra Nova's done a nice job of getting second and third, which has kept the overall team scores very close.
Yeah. Especially with the varsity girls team, a lot of the other schools have just simply more members. So while we get first and second in most of the individual events, when you tally up the teams and the points, for the other team, the points just stack up more.
A little more depth. Lynn still with that comfortable lead. Lap counter is going to read 17. There's only 3 turns left to go in this race. One update from both the JV boys and girls standings at that break we had just a few minutes ago. The JV boys for Mills were really dominating Terra Nova's boys 71-5. As Lynn turns for the final time on the bell lap. Well, they'll actually have one more turn at the other end. Interesting, they've got the 2 red marks on the lap counter.
It's a nice little alert, kind of saying, this is your final 25, make it count.
And the JV girls were tied 40-40. So that one is very close. So here comes Jake Lynn. Lynn, a junior, and he wins the 500-meter freestyle for the varsity boys.
Speaking of all these wins, it seems to be getting windier here in Millbrae. It's never a bad time for a really bad pun. Sorry for that.
The wind is picking up. No problem. Philip Bondar finishes second for Terra Nova. And the wind is picking up. All you got to do is look at those flags above the pool. And you could tell. Kind of gusty, just died down here. So it looks like the Mills swimmer Jonathan Coe in lane number 4 is going to take third place here. Very important now, these placings towards second, third, and fourth come into play when you're talking about team total scores, and Jonathan Coe is going to get fourth. 12 out of 14 wins. And finishing, actually Jonathan Coe is going to get third in lane 4, and Nathan Ariano is going to get fourth for Terra Nova from lane number 3. So it goes Lynn, Bondar, Coe, and Ariano in the 500-meter freestyle. Up next is event number 33, the varsity girls in the 200-meter freestyle relay. And the Mills girls have 2 teams. First off, in lane number 4, it'll be Luisa Simpao starting things. Clarice Wong in lane number 6 for the Vikings. 3 teams for Terra Nova. In lane number 3, starting out, will be Serena Bioni. Lane 5, Brittany Byrne. And lane 7, Michaela Peterson. And out to the lead in lane 5 is Terra Nova's Brittany Byrne. Second for Mills in lane number 6 is Clarice Wong. So Byrne first for Terra Nova, Wong second for Mills as they head to leg number 2. First in the pool for Terra Nova in lane 5 is Taylor Nash, and it's Christy Wong for Mills. Those two look like they're going to be battling throughout this 200-meter freestyle race. Now about a 3/4 body length lead. Taylor Nash from Terra Nova over Christy Wong from Mills. Into the pool for Mills, Megan Chang in lane number 6. And it's Frankie Ariano in lane number 5 for Terra Nova. Still about a 3/4 length lead, although Megan's trying to cut into it, and I believe she has. Cut it to about a half length lead. She's gained a little bit of ground, much needed ground for Mills, now just about a 1/4 length. Nice job on that third leg there by Megan Chang. And now Carmen Lee for Mills, going to try to finish off what Megan started and win this. She's going against the closer or the anchor leg, Emma Olsen for Terra Nova. It's Olsen for Terra Nova in lane 5. Carmen Lee for Mills in lane 6. Carmen Lee with a surge at the end. And she may have got it. What a race.
Yep.
Carmen Lee may have pulled that one off, Vicky.
Final time 1:54. I believe that was beaten by milliseconds, I think, actually. Yep. And the victory goes to Mills for the varsity girls 200 free relay.
What a fantastic race that was. "13 wins now out of 15 races for Mills combined boys and girls. If we get a score update from one of the assistant coaches, we'll let you know. But that was fantastic. Congratulations. In lane 6, Clarice Wong, Christy Wong, Megan Chang, and Carmen Lee. And Megan Chang in that third leg really did a fine job of closing the gap. And then Carmen Lee did what an anchor is supposed to do. She brought it home. Very impressive. Next up is event number 34. They combined the JV and the varsity, and this is the varsity boys 200-meter freestyle relay. And it looks like there are 2 Mills teams. Originally they had signed up for 3. So I believe this group is out. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, so in lanes 4 and 6 are the Mills groups, and that was Jeremy Truong, who started out in lane 6 for Mills, and Kevin Lee in lane 4 for Mills, but they're trailing Willie Amundsen for Terra Nova, who got off to the lead. This is leg number 2. Devin Johnson now swimming for Terra Nova with quite a big lead already. In lane 4 for Mills on leg number 2, Kevin Lai. Is that correct? Lai, I'm trying to read that. And Andrew Dunn was in lane 6 for leg number 2, and they're now on lane 3. For Terra Nova in the lead, that's Aaron Sturtevant. For Mills in lane 6, Carlos Dantas. They're in second place. And in lane 4, Richie Liang for Mills. They're in third. But so far, this one belongs to Terra Nova. Philip Bondar running the anchor, or swimming the anchor, I should say. For Mills in lane 6, trying to catch him, but too far back. It's going to be Jonathan Coe and Brian Ing swimming the anchor in lane 4 for the Vikings. So they'll get second and third. Terra Nova will pick up their third victory, and it's their 200-meter freestyle relay team. Willie Amundsen, Devin Johnson, Aaron Sturtevant, and Philip Bondar. And if you're enjoying watching this program or any other programs on MCTV, consider becoming an MCTV underwriter. It's a great way to get your name on local television and to support the Millbrae community. And of course, your support is crucial in helping MCTV to produce quality programming with a local focus. For info on underwriting opportunities or to sign up for an underwriting package, contact MCTV at 259-2343 or send an email to info@mctv.tv. We're back on MCTV Sports, getting set for event number 37, the Varsity Girls 100-meter backstroke. And it looks like there'll be 2 Viking swimmers. Luisa Simpao is going to be in lane 4, and Alice Lau will be in lane 6. Both of those for Mills. Holly Goopser in lane 5 for Terra Nova, and Edie Cap in lane 7 for the Tigers. And Cap, it looks like, got out to a quick lead, not by much, on lane 7, and also Goopser in lane 5, both the Terra Nova swimmers on top early. For Mills, Luisa Simpao is in third in lane 4, and in lane 6, Alice Lau for the Vikings in fourth. Right now it's Holly Goopser in lane 5 here in the 100-meter backstroke. So just 2 more times down and back, and this one will be over. It goes quick. Trying to close the gap is Simpao, about a length and a half back, as Goopser hits the wall and turns for home for Terra Nova in lane 5. In lane 7 in second, also for the Tigers, Edie Cap. Trying to close the gap is Luisa Simpao. She's made up some ground, only about 3/4 of a length, but she's going to run out of real estate, and it's going to be Goopser in first, Simpao in second, Cap in third, and Lau in fourth. That's the first Terra Nova race that they've won on the girls' side for varsity so far today. And we did have an update in the standings thanks to assistant coach Gabe Rosenthal. Since we just had a girls' race, we'll update that. The Terra Nova girls with a slight lead before that race, 64-60. And going into this boys race, Mills with a slight lead, 61-58. So both of them are close, just as you expected, Vicki.
It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out, considering we do have a few more events left. So a few more events, opportunities for our team to kind of pick it up and maybe catch up on those points for varsity girls and maintain the lead for varsity boys.
100-meter backstroke. The varsity boys are in the pool. Jacob Ing is in, well, they're underneath now. We'll have to try to figure it out. We're trying to, again, sort things out on the fly. Kaylin Tantuico for Mills is in lane number 6, the lane closest to us, and he's got the lead. Jacob Ing is in lane 2 for Mills. Check that, lane 4. And Jeremy Truong is in lane 2 for the Vikings. For Terra Nova, in lane 3 is Nathan Ariano and Jose Bermudez in lane 5. The big danger for Terra Nova, although Tantuico has a nice lead on Bermudez so far in this 100-meter backstroke.
And Kalen, in this event, he's already qualified for CCS, so he is definitely going to be there for this event.
And he's got a huge lead as he brings it on home. Tantuico, 58.6 with the victory. Second place goes to Bermudez. Third place goes to Jacob Ing. And it's a battle for fourth. And Jeremy Truong for Mills gets it ahead of Nathan Ariano. So first, third, and fourth for the varsity boys from Mills in the 100-meter backstroke. "100 meters is the distance. The breaststroke is the swim stroke. Varsity girls set for the pool next. And another treat for our viewers, Christy Wong in lane number 6. And Christy is one of our top swimmers, and this is one of her best events. She's very close to qualifying in the 100-meter breaststroke, Vicky. Carmen Lee in lane 4 for Mills. 3 Terra Nova girls swimmers. Michaela Peterson in lane 3, Frankie Ariano in lane 5, and Lauren Yeary in lane number 7. And off to the quick lead is Christy Wong for Mills in lane number 6.
After the first 25, Christy seems to have about a body and a half, 2 bodies almost in the lead for Terra Nova. Carmen coming in second place right now. The second turn, Christy still maintains her lead with Carmen coming in second.
Halfway through, Christy Wong. She's a senior. She's looking to qualify in the 100-meter breaststroke. Try and see if I can find that 100-meter qualifying time that she needs to get. I have it in my notes somewhere. For girls, it's 1:11.99. It looks like she's going to miss it. She got 1:14. She missed it just by about 3 seconds. But she wins the race, does Christy Wong. Nicely
Yes.
done. And Carmen Lee for Mills gets second, so they get first and second.
Mm-hmm.
In lane number 5, Frankie Ariano gets third. Here on the outside, Lauren Yeary for Terra Nova is going to finish fourth. And then in lane 3, Michaela Peterson is going to take fifth for the Tigers.
For these timing things, I mean, really, it seems like 3 seconds is a very small amount of time, but when you're a swimmer and you're trying to shave off those, 2-3 seconds to get yourself to CCS, it takes weeks of work and lots of hard effort to kind of improve that. It seems like a very small amount of time to everyone else, but to swimmers, 1 second is a very long time.
That was very important for the Mills girls as they're trying to win this dual meet. And just a couple races ago, we got a score update, and Terra was up 64-60. So getting first and second is certainly going to help Mills' chances on the girls' side. As we're set now for the 100-meter breaststroke for the boys, and Drew Kwan is in lane 6 for Mills. Andrew Dunn is in lane 4 for the Vikings, and Kevin Lee, also for the Vikes, is in lane 2 for Terra. In lane 3, Aaron Sturdivant. Lane 5 is Willie Amundsen. And out to a quick lead in lane number 6 is Drew Kwan. And he's already qualified in the 100-meter breaststroke and the 100-meter butterfly. Yep. And he's dominating this race so far. Drew Kwan in lane 6 for Mills. Close battle for second between Andrew Dunn of Mills and it's Willie Amundsen for Terra. Drew Kwan is going to coast in for the victory. The battle is for second right now. You got Amundsen for Terra. 101.32 is the time for Drew, and Amundsen's going to take second for Terra, and finishing third is Andrew Dunn. Taking fourth, Aaron Sturdivant for Terra, and fifth for Mills is Kevin Lee. The final event for the girls varsity is the 400-meter freestyle relay, and the Mills girls will have just one team. They'll be in lane 5, Megan Chang, Alice Lau, Medina Avdich, and Carolyn Yu. On the other hand, Terra will have 3 teams competing, and they'll start it off with Holly Goobser in lane 3, Emma Olsen in lane 5, and Michaela Peterson will start in lane 7. Megan Chang will lead things off for Mills, and they're going to move over a lane. No, so she's going to be in lane 6. And Mills, Megan Chang into the pool, and she pokes her head out with a slight lead. So it's going to be 4 lengths of the pool for each competitor. So it's a little bit of a long race, but it's still a relay. It's a team race. And how important, Vicky, is that leadoff run?
It's very important considering there is so much, there are so many laps for each swimmer to swim. And if, you know, you kind of fall behind, then it's a lot of catch up you have to do. So especially that first one that Megan is right now in for Mills is very important for us to kind of maintain that strong lead, at least have a very good start. And right now it's looking pretty good.
Very close.
Yeah, very close. Terra catching up to Megan.
Emma Olsen is right behind, and right here at the end, Megan Chang is going to hit the wall first, so she gives her Vikings the lead, and into the pool jumps Alice Lau, leg number 2, but quickly moving up is Serena Baioni in lane 5, and she reclaims the lead for the Tigers. She is really swimming fast, is Baioni of Terra in lane 5. Open up a 3-4 length lead.
It looks like Alice's goggles have come off her face, off her eyes at least. They're on her forehead. Must have happened during the impact on the dive.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Way to spot that, Vicky. The goggles of Alice Lau have come off, and that, how much does that affect the swimmer?
It really depends on each individual swimmer. So if some swimmers are more comfortable with, you know, chlorine in their eyes, then some people just push right through that. But it can affect a swimmer really badly. I do remember at the, I believe, 2008, Summer Olympics, Michael Phelps had the same thing happen to him, and he pushed through and still got that gold. So I do believe it depends on every swimmer.
And apparently Michael Phelps is making a comeback. I just saw on a couple of news stations that he's going to be competing in an event soon. So he's making a comeback.
Unretiring.
Yeah. So we're in leg number 3, and in lane 5 is Taylor Nash for Terra Nova, and she has about a complete pool length lead on Mills, who has Medina Avdic racing for them leg number 3, and they're in lane 6. So that loss of the goggles on the second leg is going to be the final straw that ends up giving the Terra Nova girls the team victory today going into this last event. Terra Nova was winning a close battle, 80-75. So plus Terra Nova has 3 teams entered this event, so I don't think it would have even mattered. Even if Mills had won, Terra Nova would have still won the overall team event with 3 teams in this final leg.
Yeah. Now, Mills has the anchor right now, Carolyn Yu. She just swam the 500 free, so she's fresh off that. She's closing off this 400 free relay for varsity girls. Maybe we'll see how much of a catch-up she can do, because she is quite fast and quite good at that.
Brittany Byrne is swimming the anchor leg for Terra Nova. And they have finished in 4:09.99. So Terra Nova wins this final 400-meter freestyle relay.
The final 25 home stretch right here. We have Carolyn Yu for Mills Vikings going in for 3rd place. First and second going to Terra Nova.
She's battling Malia Ford in lane 7. And actually it looks like lane number 3 is already finished, and Sutara Nittenson along with Natalia Gill finished up, so they're going to get 3rd. So Terra Nova is going to get 1st, 3rd, and 4th, and Mills is going to get 2nd in this girls 400-meter freestyle relay. And overall, I'd have to say the girls were impressive. They kept it very close, and it's a young Mills team.
Yeah. We don't have that many. I believe we have 3 seniors, about 3 seniors. So the rest of the team is, you know, pretty young. So we'll have a good foundation for next year's team.
So the girls varsity for Terra Nova will improve with the victory to 2-2. They were in 5th place going in. Menlo Atherton was in 1st place at 4-0. Burlingame 2nd. This is the Bay Division. Aragon 3rd at 2-1. Carlmont 2-2 in 4th. And Terra Nova was in 5th. Mills was 0-4 in the girls' standings, and they'll end up at 0-5 overall in the Bay Division standings with today's loss. So now it's the final event of the evening.
We've got the varsity boys 400 free relay. Right now we've on the second turn with Jake Lynn starting off in lane 6. With his team, Jake Lynn, Jacob Ng, Drew Kwan, and Kaylin Tansuiko. And if those names sound familiar, it's because they have been in the same relay before.
And they've already qualified for CCS in this event, as we mentioned earlier. And Jake Lynn starting off the Vikings with the lead, going against Devin Johnson from Terra Nova. And flying into the pool is Jacob Ng, leg number 2 in lane 6 for Mills. Jose Bermudez in lane number 5 for the Tigers. About 3 lengths off. And Jacob Ng is really moving quickly. fighting the wind on the way back. You could see the flags really blowing. And Jacob is increasing the lead.
Wait.
Going into this final race, the varsity boys of Mills were leading Terra Nova 82-69. So with 3 teams competing, just 2 for Mills and 1 for Terra Nova, no matter what happens, Mills is going to win this boys dual meet.
Oh.
Into the pool goes Drew Kwan in lane 6 for Mills. Almost a half a pool length lead as Aaron Sturdivant, running the 3rd leg for Terra Nova, has got a lot of room to catch up.
And it actually looks like the 2nd and 3rd leg for the lane 6, they actually switched. So right now in the water is Jacob Ng, and before was Drew Kwan.
Okay, so they did the old switcheroo on us, huh? Well, that's great. You caught that. Vicky, if you weren't here, we never would have known. Probably our viewers never would have known either. Nonetheless, this is Jacob Ng. Leg number 3. Bringing it home, we know, is Kalen Tantuico, and he flies into the air and into the pool. And he's going to be battling Michael Cordova, who has a long way to go. 4 laps remaining. And when Tantuico touches here, it'll be just down and back, the final event of the day. Mills and Terra Nova here on MCTV Sports. Kalen, a junior. Jacob, a sophomore. Jake, a junior, and Drew, a senior in this A-team relay team. Tantuico is going to bring it home. And the 400-meter freestyle relay goes to Mills, as does the overall dual meet score. Mills over Terra Nova. This Mills boys team, they were impressive today, Vicky.
Very impressive. They've been doing well all season, and this just goes to show that they're one of the best ones in the league this year.
Terra Nova's boys varsity team with the loss falls to 0-3-1. And with the victory, the Mills boys varsity team, trying to find my standings in all this wind here. There we go. Improves to 3-2, so they're above 500. They've won 3 out of their 5 dual matches in the Bay Division, which of course is the tougher division of the 2. There's also the Ocean Division. And going into today in the boys standings, Burlingame was on top at 3-0. Carlmont in second, 3-1. They were tied with Menlo Atherton at 3-1, and then Mills at 3-2 now. If either Carlmont or Menlo Atherton loses, they could end up in a tie for 3rd place.
Wow. That's awesome.
So that'll just about do it here for us here on MCTV Sports. We were just handled the final score for the boys. Mills wins it, going away 90-73. So very well done. Congratulations to their head coach, Carly DiMarcana. Thank you very much for joining MCTV in the Mills High Art of Video class in this MCTV Sports production. We do have DVD copies of today's varsity meet for sale. Just go to mctv.tv/buy, B-U-Y, and look for the DVD cover on our Square store. You can also give us a call at 259-2343, and we'll take your order over the phone. DVD sales go to support the production of more MCTV sports events, so you are helping to keep our excellent sports programming going. For more information, give us a call or check out our website at mctv.tv. So the Mills girls lose by the final of 90-79, but the boys win 90-73. We'd like to thank our entire MCTV crew, including Andy Pittman and Randy Sahai. For Vicky Wu, I'm Kenny Milch, saying so long and thanks for watching MCTV Sports. We'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.